Howdy, y'all. Just got out of an algebra test of mine. Got it done pretty quickly, felt pretty good about it, but I'm walking now through the gardens to a little spot of mine. Not really my spot, but I like it. I wanted to talk today about scholarships because it just came up to me, recently. Been applying to some scholarships. Um, just doing a little bit of pre-planning for summer, next semester, spring as well, of course, still. Even thinking into the fall, next fall. Just kind of applying for everything I can. Obviously, I'm pretty eligible for scholarships with grades and stuff. But I did want to mention that for high school students, one thing that college was shrouded by mystery for me with college was like when to apply for scholarships. Um, Surprisingly, there is a lot of underclassmen scholarships for like freshmen and sophomores in high school that you could apply for, and it's kind of strange to me that I was never even told any of that. Like I had no idea that there was freshman and sophomore in high school scholarships. Like I could have been getting scholarships at freaking 15 and 16, but I just didn't know about it. So and I mean, I didn't even have a college plan really at freshman year. I started in sophomore year. So if y'all are underclassmen, I would highly recommend going to your counselors, asking for what scholarship opportunities there are, because applying to them now, specifically the ones meant for freshmen and sophomores, like those are those are less competitive than the ones for seniors and stuff because less people know about them. So just a little bit of insight. That's one group of scholarships. Those kind of scholarships are all around like mostly grades and clubs, of course. Mostly around grades. But like other scholarships, I guess, there's academic. Keeping your grades up is extremely important. That's what I'm doing here right now. I think there's consistently more scholarships, and it's rewarded in higher volume to have higher grades than anything else. There's niche scholarships, welders and stuff like that, clubs, whatever, and then there's sports. But I just think keeping your grades good and having good ACT, SAT scores is most important, but also applying to scholarships in volume. My AP kids, you don't just want to be applying for the ones on College Board, like their website, because those are extremely congested with like literally every AP kid in the world, well, nation, world, and there's millions of AP kids, if you across everywhere. So those are not easy to get. It's better if you diversify. If you get yourself an account on scholarships.com and Bold as well. Bold's a good resource I use for scholarships. It allows you basically to just put in what your GPA is, what grade you're in, colleges you're looking at, stuff like that, and then it'll basically give you scholarships that you can apply for with no essay, and then once you kind of instantly apply for all those, like it literally just like click it and it applies it to it for you after you get past those, because those have low chances of getting awarded, but you might as well, because everyone can use a couple $100 here and there, and it really doesn't take that much effort to apply for a scholarship like that, especially on a place like Bold, bold.org or .com, I can't remember, it might be .com. I was just on there a second ago, I should know, but there's also like essay scholarships, which a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to put an essay into something that I don't know for sure I'm going to get, but that's a pretty poor attitude to have, and usually it's not even an entire essay. Sometimes it's just a page about you and what you've done and your achievements, and I mean, it's not too hard to talk about yourself once you get going. So if all you need is, say, 500 words about your high school accomplishments, just be like, that's one page in MLA, pretty much. I think, yeah, I'd say that's about one page in MLA, roughly. So it's really not as hard as people think applying for those essay scholarships or scholarships that require essays, and usually those are in the thousands in terms of dollar amount, and you really only need a couple of those to start like building up and actually cover a lot lot more than you think you do, because for me, obviously the biggest bill is tuition, and having tuition covered by state funded scholarships is really helpful, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I kept my grades up and that I'm smart and intelligent and stuff. But um, that's why I push to say that keeping your grades up is extremely important, because I didn't even have to apply for the scholarship. They just gave it to me, I had to technically kind of put in my request for it, but no essay. It's just, if you have the grades and the standardized test score, you get it no matter what. It's like 100%. If you meet the two conditions, you get it. And it covers 5 figures worth of college cost for me. So, and that's just for the state of Georgia with the Zellner Scholarship. There's other states that have similar concepts. I would research those immediately, get onto those, start planning for those, because those guaranteed, what I call guaranteed scholarships, if there's no competition, you're not fighting anyone for the scholarship, it's simply you fighting against yourself to meet conditions. Those are the kinds of scholarships that you really want, because there's nothing stopping you really from doing that. It's not like, oh, I wrote a worse essay than this kid across the freaking country. No, it's that if you don't get it, that means that you didn't meet your goals, which is fine, but I think that's more motivation for me, because I can challenge myself rather than just hoping that I did better or have a better profile or portfolio than somebody from another state. For scholarships. And then there's also college-specific scholarships. Those are, I would say, equally important, if not more, than applying to scholarships online through scholarships.com, College Board, the ACT website. Bold, like I said, I would definitely recommend Bold for scholarships. College-specific scholarships, there's usually somewhere in the portal that you can apply for them. They aren't too competitive depending on which college you go to. If you go to a huge college like mine, well, there's a chance that the lower tier ones are going to be taken up. But then if there's ones for things like honors college, those are going to be a little easier to get. Not necessarily easier, but there's going to be less people applying for them. So I guess there's a higher chance of you getting it. But those tend, like an honors college specifically, those tend to require recommendations, definitely writing an essay or two. But those are good scholarships too. And I would say gauging a scholarship based off of its monetary value isn't the only thing you should consider. I would say gauging a scholarship by its by how many people have access to it, because people that have access to honors college scholarships is a much smaller amount of people than have access to the entire school-wide scholarships from my university. So say there's $1,000 scholarship for the honors college and $1,000 scholarship for just the university altogether. Well, anyone can go and apply for the regular $1,000 scholarship. Say it's for whatever, minimal requirements, anyone can get it. There's going to be 25,000 kids that are going for that scholarship, assuming they fill their profiles out on the Georgia Southern portal. But if there's an honors college one, it might require an essay, it might have requirements, but that's only going to have a few hundred people fighting for it. So I would say there's a lot of factors that go into determining which scholarships are quote-unquote worth it to apply for. But mostly in general, just if you have the time, and you can make the time if you don't have the time, but if you can just apply for as many as you possibly can, basically all of them that you can find. Just keep applying, and I promise you'll probably not run out if you keep looking in the right places. And there's just a egregious number of scholarships, and most people just don't want to put in the effort to actually apply to them. So using your tools, applying to the ones that don't require essays, spamming those, as well as writing the essays for scholarships. I'm not saying write huge bunches of essays, because there's odds that you might not get those, but find ones that are worth it, $500 to $1,000 for just writing a page. I would definitely take that chance. But if you have to write a 10-page essay for a $200 scholarship, then maybe pass on that, because personally I could probably make $200 in the same amount of money it takes me to write a 10-page essay. So but I guess that's gonna be it. Keep this one relatively short compared to my other ones, just kind of threw it in here. But if you watched till now, then thank you very much. Go ahead and subscribe.
like, and I guess just keep out for more college insight. I'll be going along pretty much as my brain guides me. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.